on a used ship? Swing by the New Deal Shipyard for exciting deals on all your favorite brands.
too bad when they reset stuff, they don't give us our frickin' money back. Because when you're really low, it makes it hard to buy consumables.
I'm not even supposed to be here today. I'm not even supposed to be here today. I'm not even supposed to be here today. Go. Just go. Stop looking and go. Why can't anyone put things back where they found them? It's not my job to pick up after you. I'm not even supposed to be here today. Just go. Stop looking and go.
Welcome to Metro Center. Transfers to the perimeter, spaceport, and industry lines. Step away from the platform edge when train is approaching.
Yep, bought animal.
Hurston Security reserves the right to search travelers at any time.
Just saw your chest.
Now arriving from TISA Spaceport. Stand by and let passengers disembark before boarding. Trespassing or attempting to trespass on train tracks is a serious and dangerous offense.
I thought when somebody got a certain distance away, stuff like that was supposed to be called. Guess not. The person that put it there is supposed to be called
Be
out.
considerate of your fellow travelers.
Unless they return.
Next stop, TISA Spaceport. Please watch your step when disembarking the train.
You couldn't hear me.
Oh, that worked.
Step away from the platform edge when train is approaching.
Sabers was here, I don't know if he's still here. Oh, you scared him away, huh? Okay.
I like the paint job of the pirate version of Passport.
Yeah, a lot of people do. I don't really care for it.
Yeah, no, you don't really care for red.
Nope. Ironically, my truck is colored red. Doesn't mean I like it though. But it was such a good deal when I bought it. There's no way I could walk away from it. That was 2012 though, so long time ago. Alright, let's see. What happened to all my equipment? Oh, I guess when they said they were changing that, they really changed it. Holy shit. Well, that sucks. A lot of components, keep in mind that I have a buttload of ships.
Yeah.
And a lot of ships I could share components between. But 2 patches ago, I guess, they said something about updating components so that if they're not actually workable in a ship, you can no longer equip them. And I just was going to upgrade my Saber Comet here to bring it all to military spec instead of stealth. Except the military components don't fit anymore.
They finally did that. I know they were talking about it, but they didn't mention it in this patch.
Well, some military components still fit, but not all. Although it doesn't make any sense. Why? Oh, maybe it's not letting you strip components from other ships either. Yep. Yep. That's exactly what's going on. Interesting. Huh. So I guess they did definitely make some changes.
I haven't gotten through reading the whole list of all the changes yet. And the patch notes are huge.
Yeah, and that includes all the notes for all the patches we've been doing in PTU as well.
Yeah.
Nice, okay. So I'll just save that.
Great. I just log in for the first time at Orison, and I'm free falling to the center of the planet. I got a desync from the platform, so I wasn't inside the platform when I spawned in.
Yeah. That's nice.
I should probably relog before I get to a critical depth of the planet. Huh?
Yep. That way you'll just respawn it. Otherwise you'll be dead.
Yeah. The whole free falling in the middle of a gas giant's all cool and all, but
Yeah, I got to spiral in an 890 once.
I saw a video that someone actually purposely dropped into Orison, and they said it was 23 minutes before they died.
Yeah, it was probably about 15 for me, but it was weird because the special effects looked like a wormhole.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it was really odd.
And that's the time you were saying your ship ran out of fuel right before it
Yep,
broke orbit?
that was it. That was the one.
Damn it!
Yeah, no, it was like, you got me freaking kidding me. And it was a bug, of course, that it shouldn't have run out that quick, but it was just unbelievable. Like, are you serious? I mean, I was like within 200, meters of the tipping point or whatever. That was just utterly.
You're like at 1,392 meters. 113,000 meters even.
Yeah, it was back. It was back when it was still 100. Was it 175?
As they dropped it.
No, it was before they. It was. No, it was when they had the bug and you could fly up to like 700,000 and still not get out of the atmosphere. Right. Huh?
No. I didn't have the game back then, so I wouldn't know.
Wait a second. Weapon right. USS Enterprise?
Yep.
I thought they already did that.
65. It says they're the final stages of the reactor.
Oh, yeah, because it's got 8. Actually, it's got 8 reactors. So.
And then now they're talking about turning it into a museum now.
Oh, somebody actually came up with the money? They were talking about before nobody had come up with the money, so it wasn't going to be able to be salvaged. It would be nice if somebody did, that's for sure. I mean, it's the first of its, you know.
It's been transferred to the ownership of the EPA.
Yeah, because the EPA has to certify that it's safe. That's normal.
It was saying here, high possibility of museum coming to fruition.
Good. Wonder where.
I don't know.
I mean, that's one ship that definitely should be put in a museum just for what it represents.
A lot of ships. I mean, the Saratoga and Forstall, they tried to make museums out of them too, but the government actually wouldn't sell the Saratoga.
Yeah.
And the Forstall, they didn't get the money for it. Of course, from what my father-in-law said, Saratoga had naughty things done to it when it was in the reserve fleet.
Well, Saratoga also was planned for a sale. That's why. But it never went through, and if I remember, it was just updated. Saratoga is now headed to the breakers, and so is the remaining. What was the other one?
Saratoga was down here in Newport at the pier for a long time. They're actually trying to museum here.
Yeah, it fell through.
From the reason I thought they had already went to the shipbreaker.
Yeah, I did too, a long time ago, but it didn't.
Because it was purchased by the Louisiana Shipbreaking Company.
Yep, for $1.
Yep.
One of them, I think it was the Saratoga, just left one of the yards for the breakers. It was on the military update I got, on the Navy update I just got a couple days ago. I'm not sure if it was Saratoga, but it was the very last coal-fired or oil-fired carrier. And I think that's Saratoga.
Because the Saratoga and Forstall both together.
Yeah, Forstall's been gone. Forstall's been gone for a while. Hold on, let me look. Pull up my DoD account. Oh wait, no, I'm wrong. It's a Kitty Hawk.
Kitty Hawk, yeah.
And Kitty Hawk,
I
thought Kitty Hawk they were trying to save because didn't it have something to do with some major flight records or something? I don't remember. It was Kitty Hawk.
Yeah, I think Kitty Hawk's the one the C-130 landed on, isn't it?
Yeah. And all the other carriers are gone. Kitty Hawk's the only one left of that whole genre. So Saratoga and the other one you mentioned, they've been gone for a while.
Yeah, because they were here in Newport. They went from Newport to the shipbreaker.
Yeah.
We had the Iowa too. Remember they were trying to save the Iowa.
Iowa did get saved.
And they finally think when it left here, they said it was going to Puget Sound and probably to the shipbreaker.
No. The 4 battleships Congress allocated and required that they cannot be modified and must remain available in perpetuity just in case. All 4 battleships are remaining in the reserve. They're stricken from the rolls now, just like they were the last time when they were put in, but they've all been Bremerton has the Iowa, let's see, is it Norfolk? Has New Jersey or Wisconsin? Wisconsin, I think it's Wisconsin and Norfolk. Another East Coast has New Jersey, and Hawaii has Missouri.
It was interesting when Iowa had the cannon accident off.
Yeah, that wasn't a cannon accident. That was a turret that blew up.
Came through Rhode Island to get the breach blocks. Actually, Massachusetts was one Rhode Island, and they took the breach blocks from the Massachusetts to replace all the breach blocks on Iowa.
Who told you that?
It was all over the news.
No, they never did it. The turret was
did.
Nope. Turret was sealed and never used again.
No, that one wasn't, but the other breach blocks were replaced.
Oh, and the other turrets.
The other turrets, yes.
Okay. Yeah. No, that main turret.
Yeah,
that was sealed up.
And they were talking about removing it, putting a helicopter deck there for a while.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. There's the other 9 or 6, whatever it was. The rest of the turrets.
I don't know why they replaced the breach box, because they didn't have anything to do with what occurred. It was human error.
Supposedly something about when they did the metallurgy test, there was a flaw in the metallurgy, and better be safe than sorry, and they just replaced them all. And Massachusetts had the same guns, so they just took her breach blocks out.
Yeah, it's probably some way to appease those that were all...
The people that were bitching,
Yeah.
I remember for a while they were trying to say that it was purposeful suicide by one of the
No.
crew members.
Nope. It was a known issue that... It was a known issue and lack of training.
Yeah. I'm just saying what they were trying to say for a while.
Yeah.
It was one of the theories that one of the failures on disciplinary issues. And purposely was squib loading to blow it up and fired it.
Yeah, they always come up. Somebody always tries to lay blame on somebody else and all that shit. It's just like when the Belknap took the Belknap, when the Belknap incident happened, they did the same thing. They tried to blame Coxon for what took place. That basically the entire superstructure of the Belknap was ripped right off by the elevators of, I think it was the Kennedy. And fuel, because she was underway refueling, and fuel just poured right down into the hull. And the ship burned for, 36 hours.
Yeah.
And then they got it back to port and rebuilt it. Yeah, it was the only one, the Belknap class, and the Belknap was the only one that ended up not remaining the same ship it was when it was built. There were 4 of the Belknap class, but because of that incident, it was a completely altered ship and out of the direction.
You are clear to launch.
Landing gear retracted.
Worse side, it's so bright, we can barely see right now.
gift chat earlier and had a discussion with Sig for a brief bit about Inferno. Now they disagree with my assessment, and I don't know that. A lot of people are kind of developers and stuff, and I'm like, I call it what it is. I call it as I see it.
Still trying to say something. No.
Yep. And I'm like, you know, when my orcs run a Redeemer, an A2, or any other ship, and that damn thing just lays waste even though we're pounding on it, something's wrong.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, and then of course you get the yahoos that got to run in there. Well, your guys need to aim better, and you probably weren't hitting it, and probably this, and probably that. And it's like, you know, to make sure none of that was true, I then went out in an Inferno. Now I'm a pretty good pilot. I'm an okay dogfighter. You know, I'm not the best of the best or anything, but I can hold my own. And I became invincible flying the Inferno. Nobody could touch me. So, you know, that kind of tells me right there, I guess either I can become a permanent Inferno pilot and be invincible the rest of my life, or there's something wrong with the ship. And I said the two things that I think are the issue: it's too agile. It should not be able to dogfight. Should not be able to turn and burn with like a saber like I'm in now.
Yeah.
And I tested myself against an Ares in this saber, and he was able to keep right up with me, no problems whatsoever. And I said, and the second problem is the shield regen. He could knock my shields flat, but I could barely even make his budge. So, sorry, but no, there's something wrong. But, you know, as usual, you get the super fanboy, oh no, it's got to be you, and blah, blah, whatever. And the thing that I think that frustrates me the most is SIG relies way too much on metrics. You know, their logs, the things that log all the battles and shit like that. You know, instead of actual experience, you know, in-game experience, the play itself, they're relying too much on numbers, and that's part of the problem. You know, they're not putting the human factor into this at all, and that's an issue that they're going to have to somehow figure out and resolve, because it's having an impact on balance, and I don't think they see that yet. But some of us do. I'm trying to give them a heads up, but I don't know.
A lot of people have been. They keep giving them ways to fix it, and they don't want to.
Well, some of it I understand. I mean, you know, certain fixes probably may not be prudent based on whatever. But in some cases, in this case, it's not really a fix. It's more of, you guys need to be aware and start making, what's the word I want to use, considering these other factors when you're doing your balance or fixes or updates or changes. Because you can't, if you just rely on metrics, it's not going to work. And it'll be a mess when they're done if they do.
Yeah.
They'll never get it balanced. It also does not help that 3/4 of the mechanics are not even in the game.
Yeah.
And that's everything. And then in that discussion today, now keep in mind the Saber, this is a brand new version of Saber. It's the Gold Pass, they called it.
Yeah.
So it flies different, it looks different, the cockpit's different, the layout, they put the components in, it's got the cargo. And yet today, a couple of guys are trying to tell me that it's a piece of junk, it can't fight, it can't fly, it's got too many problems, and blah, 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 blah. It's like, what in the hell are you talking about?
I don't know. I'm like, I know people are bitching because they removed the third shield and.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I
they
mean,
removed the third shield, so it's useless now.
I know, it's just like, why don't you guys go fly the damn thing?
Yeah. It feels like most of the people that bitch about it have never flown it. Like,
Or they flew it in the past when it was a piece of junk.
Yeah.
They flew it when it had all the shield holes where one hit.
When the cockpit was a giant shield hole where
Yep.
one hit would kill the pilot.
Yep. So they're arguing with me today about how it's still that. And I'm telling them, I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? When's the last time you flew the thing? Because it is nothing like that anymore.
Yeah.
They've made a pretty damn good improvement. Sure, all ships still have issues, but Saber's become a good fighter again. I think what they want is the same insta-kill crap that they had before with it. Because the Saber, when it first came out, was like the ship to go to.
Oh, yeah.
Come on. Did you just try to call me in game?
Negative.
Somebody keeps trying to call me in game.
I know that I've realized Discord and Teams talk to each other. So you see me keep bouncing out, that's why.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Bad.
So who's got to fix that? Discord or Windows? That wasn't nice.
What?
Oh, I gotta go take this bounty, and I'm heading into the base, and all the frickin' turrets lit up on me. And of course it's dark, so I can't see the screen. And since I didn't realize I was gonna have to take out the freaking turrets, I didn't bring the weapon systems I need to deal with the turrets.
I was also reading one of the friends of Spectrum that we're adding exterior guards to pursue.
Exterior what?
Guards. Outside.
I haven't heard that. I mean, eventually, yeah, that's the way it will be, but I haven't heard if they did it yet, because the problem is, that's why when you go to Rex, they're all inside. The physics grid for the planets, the AIs can't navigate. That's another piece of technology that they've been working on to get working, and the reason is because the physics grid for these planets and moons is round. Normal physics grids are flat.
Hello?
You're barely there. Barely hear you. So yeah, Sig's been working on that too, apparently, trying to get that resolved. And that's why you don't see NPCs outside. And I haven't seen any updates on that at all, so I would find it very improbable that there's any NPCs outside yet. Because we have seen nothing at all about that. And that'll be a major test patch for something like that big. You know, you'd think in this frickin' game they'd fix this damn navigation system, this auto-spooling bullshit. God.
All they need to do is take the star map they have on the website, have that in-game as the navigation.
Well, they can't because that's done in Flash. And they've removed almost all Flash from the game now. It's being done in their building blocks. So they'd be going backwards if they tried to do that. Shut up. I hate it when these freaking stations, you get within hailing distance and then they start yapping at you.
Yeah.
And you can't talk to them. So you can get a landing spot. It's like, man.
Landing gear deployed.
And they yap for a good 30 seconds. Just like, you know, at airports, I'm sure the ATC controllers are yapping away so the pilots can't get a word in, right?
Of course.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll just talk your ass off while you crash into the ground.
I play whatever. How are you doing today? I had a coffee. What did you have?
Yeah. You there, Mango?
Yep.
You playing or working tonight?
It's gonna be a little bit of both. I'm trying to get this cloud PC up and running.
Cloud? What's a cloud PC?
So basically, hush hush, we have this product coming out where developers can just use a virtual machine to develop.
Mm-hmm.
So this is just trying to they're forcing us to use it
Landing complete.
to make
Have
sure
a
it
pleasant
works
stay.
correctly,
Mm-hmm.
and then before we offer it out to customers.
Ah. So it's like basically your PC, but it runs in the cloud.
Correct.
Something I'll never use.
Correct.
Systems offline.
Yeah, until they have, 1,000 gigabyte per second upload, download, unrestricted, never falls or fails, that kind of technology is not viable.
Viable for who?
Anybody.
Viable in what sense?
Well, good luck playing Star Citizen on something like that.
Oh yeah, this ain't for gaming.
Yeah.
I guess over in Europe they have a gaming cloud PC service.
Yeah, you can play games on it. You can't play games like this on it. Do you imagine trying to run Star Citizen on a cloud PC, especially when you've got the specialized graphics and threading that has to be done? Forget it.
Funny enough, it could probably run better on a cloud PC.
As I was saying, I mentioned I need a new video card. A bunch of people on Spectrum asked me if I lived in England because they claimed that there's a cloud PC service in England that people have been running Star Citizen on.
Well, they're full of shit. The EAC would put a stop to that. Mango, I could see that it would actually handle processing better, but you still have the output of the graphics, input output, that kind of stuff, and there'd be a delay there.
So we have NVIDIA racks where these things run like 3090s, and we work with a company who they're down in Alabama, but they do a lot of graphics processing for CAD software and all of that stuff, and that's what they use. They use our virtual machines to do all of their graphic work.
Yep.
So it's feasible. They won't let me. I tried to use one to start Citizen, but it was blocked from our subscription, so I couldn't use it.
Well, yeah, but the problem with that is the real-time interaction between the user and that server. I mean, on your end, on the cloud end, sure, it'd probably run full speed, no problem. And if you were right there with a keyboard monitor, you could play Star Citizen to your heart's content. But out here, it's still got to go through the internet to get anywhere. And that's...
Yeah, and that delay is only 30 milliseconds.
Right. I actually have 30 milliseconds, and I'm on 5 megabyte DSL. But the problem is you can't stream... How am I trying to describe this? You can't stream the fidelity, I guess, and the FPS. I'm not sure how to say what I'm trying to say.
It can be done. I've done it.
I'd have to see it and play it myself to believe it, because it's just that delay is a big problem when it comes to real time.
Yeah. For instance, there's a customer-facing xCloud, right? You heard of that?
Yep.
That's basically the Xbox, and people were saying the same thing about the delay from the system is going to be a problem running sports games.
Right. Except
prior to this, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, yeah, but the difference is an Xbox game is nowhere near as heavily laden with what Star Citizen has in terms of graphics and what's the word I'm looking for? well, physics, but also the entities. Those are the biggest issue. Because I mean, when you've got a game, this game right now, when I'm fully loaded up in 4K, I'm running upward of 300 entities for this game, depending on where I'm at. And that takes a lot of freaking horsepower.
Right. But that's the thing about virtual PCs. They scale.
Well, yeah. That's why. That's why I said a virtual PC could run this no problem. It's just between the client and that server is that delay. Is it going to be too much? Because the real time, when you react in real time on the client end, I don't think there's any way to make that happen solid enough, if you know what I mean, for a game that is of this size and scope. I might be wrong, I've never seen it before, but I can't imagine, I can't imagine it yet being possible to play a game like this remote.
Yeah, we have to start my daughter right here. So yeah, we have it. One of the things there was a white paper written on Project Authority, which was essentially the ability to use machine learning to help minimize latency for games that require less input lag.
Yeah, you sound like you're talking about DLSS.
No, that's DLSS is for
graphics. It's graphics AI.
That's super resolution.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's graphics AI.
This is for player movement. And the way it was working at a base level was that it was predicting the options the player has for movement and preloading those frames.
Interesting. And what if it predicted it wrong?
Then you would take the difference. But the way it was working was that there was so many predictions that it could be wrong because it was predicting on a finite level the exact next move, the options you had for the next move. So it was loading all of those options.
Yeah, but one thing you just said caught my attention. It couldn't be wrong.
It can't be.
Yeah, that I don't agree with.
Well,
anything can be wrong. Garbage in, garbage out.
Well, in computing, there's no randomization.
True. Which means if input is bad, the output's going to be bad.
If you don't guard against the input.
Yeah, but how many programmers in the world take that kind of emphasis or put that kind of emphasis in what they're doing?
We do. 100%.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that. That's bullshit.
That was my problem the first year I was working here. I wasn't sanitizing input to my function.
Yeah, but the problem is, if Microsoft were that way, why do we have so many patches with Windows?
So patches for Windows is a different issue.
Oh, okay.
Those are related to a lot more to security, a lot more to zero-day hacks, and different things of those sorts, right? So they're in that weird balance where they're trying to balance it to be extremely usable and user-friendly, but secure at the same time.
Yeah, they're trying to make it.
You can't do.
They're trying to make it stupid usable. You know what I mean by stupid usable, right?
Usable and private.
Huh? Well, they're trying to dumb it down so that grandma and grandpa that's never touched a computer can use it without breaking anything. That'd be a fair assessment?
Yep, absolutely.
Which is annoying to everybody else. Especially when you got younger generations now learning in grade school, you know, kindergarten on up, about computers and all this kind of stuff. And instead of Microsoft embracing that, they're going the opposite direction and dumbing it all down again because they're worried about security. To me, I don't think computer companies should be worrying about that. I think it's just like raising kids. I think that's a person's responsibility. If you want to play with a computer and the internet, It's up to you to learn what you need to do to protect it. That's all.
Our client base is not just dumb old people. You got a lot of government workers who are just dumb.
Well, that's true too. But I think it ought to be the responsibility of those that want to use the tech. I mean, that's what the military teaches us. It's our responsibility to properly use our weapon, properly clean it, properly take care of it. It's our responsibility to properly gear up when we go out on a mission.
In a perfect world, I agree with you.
Yeah, but haven't you figured out I am perfect? Hey, I got somebody laugh at one of my jokes. Look at that shit. I'm on a roll.
He wasn't laughing with you, he was laughing at you.
No, he's laughing with me.
It's
Don't
different.
ruin my moment. Damn people come ruin my moment. You know, I'm playing devil's advocate here with you. You realize that, right, Mango?
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
But I was really trying to, there was a point I was trying to play Star Citizen on one of the new video virtual machines we have. Things are super powerful.
Yeah.
The ability for them to scale. I was just curious to see what Star Citizen was like at this point. Running out of machine and Madison, we've got way more bandwidth than any personal bandwidth.
Yeah. It's, you know, it really is. I've had conversations with others about this before, but what's really sad is that the Amiga, because it was a private family that owned Commodore, and the Amiga failed because they basically, when the dad died, they took the money and ran. And it's too bad because today we'd be using computers that we can't even imagine had the Amiga continued on instead of DOS taken over. I mean, today, until they put an EAC in the game, I was running Star Citizen on one of my Amigas. That's how powerful the system is. Obviously, I had to modernize it up to modern standards, which we can do, because it's still a viable system out there. Still pretty much a niche, but it's still active. But anyway, the difference is night and day. I mean, with the multiple processing it's got, all that kind of shit, could you imagine where computers would be today if the Amiga had not died out like it did because of the family's greed? It'd be unbelievable. I forgot how to get in this shit. And you know, a lot of people are like, well, it's no different than any other PC. Oh yeah, it is. It's still the first and only home computer that's ever had hardware multitasking. Still, you know, I mean, it blows away the PC for any type of onboard processing even today because of its 6 now dedicated processors. Yeah, I can't imagine that people are like, well, yeah, but with the PC stuff today, we got parallel processing, all that. Guess what? We had a parallel processing card in the early 90s, and all you had to do is plug it into the Amiga. It was made specifically for it. You know, stuff like that. I wish it had not happened the way it did, because I could only imagine what we'd be able to do with computers today. You know, people are like, I'll tell people, you do realize that the PC you're on right now with your RTX 3090 and your i23-5750 processor, whatever, is 40-year-old tech. And they look at me like I'm freaking nuts. And I said, the tech behind that, the tech in your PC, is exactly the same as it was for the very first IBM PC that ever came out. And boy, will they argue that. It's like, yeah, today computers are faster. They've got more, you know, oomph to them, horsepower. But they're the same design. You've got a CPU, you've got a graphics card, you've got a DMA channel, and that's it. The basics. You got and you get your memory, RAM. It's the same basic linear design that it's always been for PC. Of course, they've spread it out, so now you've got threading. You know, the speed, obviously, clock speeds have gone through the roof. But it's still a CPU, a storage device, a memory medium, and a visual display.
I can't remember what that architecture is called, too, but yeah, it's just been unchanged.
Yep.
It's just smaller.
Yep. Yep. What the hell? What the hell just happened? What the hell was... God damn it. I'm getting tired of Windows turning off my USB shit. Seriously. Did you hear that go doo-doo-doo? It turned off my controls again. Son of a bitch.
The power USB thing?
Yeah. And today I had to go through and reset all the USB ports in one of the machines because for some reason when Windows updated the last time, it turned on all the allow Windows to turn off power management stuff. You know, it allows you to turn off USB ports. It allows Windows to turn off a USB port through power management unless you uncheck that. And I always uncheck it because if you don't uncheck it, it'll turn your drives off, it'll turn your controllers off, it'll do whatever the hell it wants. There, and it just dinged and brought my thing back online. It's like, yeah. That is one of the most annoying things about Windows there is, as far as I'm concerned. Let's see here. But, you know, it is what it is. Can't do much about it. That was the other thing that was really nice about the Amiga. You want to make something work, you plug it in and you turn the machine on. It's true plug and play. Along with its actual hardware multitasking. Homo Dobbs? Oh, HDMO Dobbs. I thought it said Homo Dobbs. I'm like, what the hell? What was the name of that? Thedius, I think. Wasn't it? Have you ever played with an Amiga, Mango?
No. You know what happened? I think we have one in our museum.
You got what?
I think we have one in our museum.
Yeah.
It works.
Well, the original Amigas are freaking mid to late 80s is when the very first one came out. And then Commodore failed in 94 or 95 when the old man died and the family just freaking took the money and ran. The one good thing about it, all my personal, everything we do here, family-wise, personal, all that stuff, we do in the Amiga. We don't keep any of our personal stuff on PCs. You want to talk security? I've got security. Good luck trying to hack into my system. Huh?
Air gap.
Yeah. Actually, no. I'm hard connected to the internet through Ethernet, but it's blocked. It's port blocked. So I only activate it when I need to do something. My PCs are that way too. I have everything port blocked. And stealth, of course. I'm surprised how many people don't know how to do that kind of stuff. I get a kick out of they've got 30 different antivirus programs running and 20 different tools on the desktop to keep it clean and all sorts of other shit, you know. And they, well, what do you use for antivirus? Nothing. And they're like, what? I don't run antivirus.
I have the antivirus programs friggin' do more damage than any virus ever could.
Yep.
Your system down.
Yep. Yep.
I presume you heard the McAfee speech I did about how if you deal with this company, you never can.
Yeah.
Because we call the McAfee antivirus the biggest virus ever created.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just it's remarkable how many people just go apoplectic when they find out that I don't use any of those tools. I don't use antivirus. virus. It's like, and I've been doing this for 40 years and I've never had a virus outbreak yet.
So it's like how, like, with the McAfee environment to installing, you're stuck with it because someone can possibly restore that reformatting your hard drive.
I don't know about that. I figured out early on that if you want to protect yourself from viruses, it's very simple to do. There's actually a Navy that taught me it, but I learned the lesson. Alright, where in the hell's this base? I went right for it. There it is.
Right now, I have an enemy that I can't lock onto.
Turn your mom off. Or your spool.
No, it wasn't that. It just wouldn't lock on. I had to want him away and want him back, and I will lock on.
That's weird.
That was the hardest, very, very low difficulty bounty I've ever done.
Wow, talk about slow streaming in. Holy shit.
It's laggy as fuck today.
Yeah,
Stuttering everywhere.
I know, I've got 20 frames per second on one of the moons, and this is just bad. I don't know what the hell they're doing with their patches and servers, but they broke something.
They could still be temporarily having debug running in the background.
They shouldn't have, not on live. You're supposed to turn that off when they go to live. Debug is only for PTU. But there's something wrong because at 20 frames per second, and I'm on a moon. Oh, it just jumped to 30. So there's something going on here. Server's got a problem. Now it's back down to 20. Oh, it's jumping all over the place now. That's a server issue. Because now it's holding at 30 again. Which is annoying in itself. So oh, now I just jumped up to 45. Now I'm back down to 30. 45. It's all over the place.
Joys of patch day.
Well, normally patches don't cause this. Not the live. There's something. They got something wrong. They did something wrong on the back end. Something's bottlenecking. Because it's holding steady now at rock solid 30. Which is 30. The servers run at 30 ticks. They said. And so the fact that it's sitting there rock solid at 30, they got something going on. And I'm on my top machine. What the hell?
Sorry, not spawning.
Yeah, this base. I'm on a moon. The base. I'm on a moon, and the base wouldn't spawn in right. I had to sit here and wait and watch for it. So I said something's wrong with the servers. Now I'm down to 20.
What happened to Saber? I forget it. Since the first time I've flown this thing, I've really liked it.
What, Saber?
What happens to Saber?
Yeah.
Oh, the Saber's in. No, the Saber's in its gold stat. It finished its gold path. So.
Oh, with this bad?
Yeah. Well, no, it was the previous PTU patches, but it's now live with the gold pass.
Nice.
And it is nice.
I like all the compartments on it, the rifle rack.
Yep. Yeah, the Gladius has got it too. The Gladius and Saber are now gold pass standard. They don't have, obviously there's going to be a platinum pass standard someday. I don't know why they called this. I don't know why they called this gold, because gold normally says it's release. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you still need to add physicalized armor. And really think physicalized armor is going to really change up a lot of shit out of the friggin' ships, friggin' combat.
Well, yeah, it will. That goes without saying. It's gonna screw up. It's gonna screw up the balance and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Big time.
You won't have these Mustang Gammas anymore being able to destroy NPC Hammerhead.
Mustang Gamma. Were you being facetious with that?
Oh, there's a video of it.
Of a Mustang Gamma?
Yeah.
It only has two little weapons on it.
Uh-huh. It's a hour-and-a-half video, but there's a YouTuber that friggin' destroyed Hammerhead in a Gamma.
That has to be done. When was that?
About a month ago?
No way.
If you look it up on YouTube, it's up there.
After they fixed the Hammerhead shields, there's no way. I mean, prior to its shields being fixed, yeah. Because the Gamma has two size 1 weapons on it. It's a freaking racing ship. That's why I said, are you sure it's a Gamma?
I'm pretty sure it's a Gamma. Let me double check. I have a video
A Delta, yeah. And a Delta could have done it in the last 3 weeks because the rocket pods were super powerful, which they just nerfed in this patch. If it was a Delta, then yeah. But a Gamma, that's a racing ship that is useless, basically. Yeah, I could see a Delta doing it though. People were bitching about that right and left.
Oh no, it was the Alpha. Excuse me, it was the starter ship. Videos here.
No way. It had to be before they fixed the Hammerhead shields. But I think it was right in front where the docking tower is. The big shield hole problem. The Alpha's got size 1 though. It's got 2 of them. And that's it. It doesn't even have missiles. There's no way a size 1 weapon can go through a capital shield. It's impossible. So that's probably what it was. He had to have done it before they fixed the Hammerhead shields. Does it say? Yep, that was before they fixed the shields. Yep, that's what it was. I don't know if you remember, but the front docking port of the Hammerhead wouldn't close. It'd stay open.
Oh, yeah.
And it caused basically no shields for the whole front of the ship. Yeah, so that basically that's what you get is sometimes you get these YouTube streamers or streamers on Twitch, and they only tell you part of the story. You know?
Yeah, it was in August.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was before they fixed the Hammerhead.
Toggle fan systems. System check.
They did it to show CIG that there was a problem because the Hammerhead is supposed to be an anti-fighter ship, and if a starter ship can kill it, it's definitely a major problem.
Yep. Yep, that's what it was. So why the hell?
What do you run for your weapons on your Saber? I know you don't run the shotgun that comes on the Comet.
No. I run, if I have them in stock, which I didn't tonight because they cleared the database, I will run attritions. I put gimbals on all 4, and then I run attritions and either FL33s or what's the other one? Neutron NDB 30s, I think they are, or the blue ones. What are they called? Corralers. Those are the ones that I switch out between depending on what I'm doing.
Okay, so right now I just still have the Panthers repeaters.
I cannot believe they have not yet fixed the frickin' missile mode of the MT.
Still not working?
Nope. You know, I guess maybe I should double check it. Make sure there is an actual IC for this. Could have swore somebody said they had done it and it was already confirmed. It's annoying as hell because this is a combat ship or combat ground vehicle that's worthless without it, in the sense of what it can do, and I need both missiles and guns right now. What do you mean offline?
Proceed to assigned landing bay.
Too bad a tank doesn't fit in an MSR. That'd solve my
Landing
problem.
complete. Have a pleasant stay.
Tanks solve everyone's problem.
Ballista won't. Well, actually, Ballista probably wouldn't fit in there either anyway. Let's see, I could take an Ursa or...
About the Mango, there's a new video by Mongol Squad of them doing an orbital insertion of Ursa rover.
Yeah. Don't worry, Sig will fix that. Once they see that video, that'll be...
They need to add actual parachutes, so...
Well, we've said that, but that goes... I think the Spartan looks like a Striker.
Yeah.
Never seen a Spartan.
The Spartan looks just like the Ballista, except it's an AP. It's like a Striker. It carries troops.
Yeah, it's like a Striker or a German Modern.
Yeah, the Ursa looks more like it's one of those British APBs, BDRM or Russian BDRM type vehicle.
Does it have two size 1s on top, or those size 2s?
For what?
The gun turn on the Ursa.
Two size 1s, I think.
Looks like a neat little vehicle.
The Ursa?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It can carry 4 or 6 troops, pilot and gunner, back hatch and a side hatch. I thought you haven't seen an Ursa?
Not up close, no.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, it's a good little combat vehicle.
I guess from us looking at it, it'll fit in a Connie.
Yep. Yeah, it was actually designed because the Aquila comes with one.
Oh yeah.
Yep. So Aquila's a good deal because you get the ship, you get the Ursa rover, and you get a snub fighter. think the Ursa, it's dual size 1 repeaters. If I remember right. Get in game, you want to see what an Ursa looks like, you just find me.
Toggle fan systems. System check.
In fact, we should go take out those turrets that you kept up cooking. That's what I'm noticing.
Thank you. And please visit again.
Now I'm testing one of the other cyclones to see if the Gatling gun version even works. Yeah, well, this one works.
Right now I'm
Space
trying to
Mail.
get all my freaking bounty hunter shirts back.
Kurt. Invite the party. Mango, you in?
Negative, still working.
Okay. Wow, this thing goes through frickin' ammo like it's going out of style. Got a yellow jacket on this cyclone, Gatling.
Yeah.
And it goes through, it sucks ammo, let's put it that way. I'm already out of ammo.
Yeah, was that like 200 rounds?
320 rounds gone in less than 10 seconds.
They really need to fix the ammo count for these fucking ballistics.
Well, part of the issue is that they're
It was supposed to be individualized per vehicle for ammo in each bit.
well, yeah, but also they're working on the ammo base, the add-ons, so that you can add more ammo, which is what they want. They want basically, if you want more ammo, you've got to add it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, if you ever want to see how really bad this physics engine is on the game, just drive a vehicle. These are freaking rockets. It's like your feathers run around, run up in the air, wallow around like a feather in the wind. Or drifting tanks, yeah. Or I parked it on it didn't even look like an incline, but it was just a very, very slight, maybe a half a degree incline, and the tank's sliding down it. It's like, what the fuck?
A couple times my economy has friggin' nose tipped after I landed.
Yep.
I got out of the ship and I looked back at it and it's friggin' nose down on the ground.
Oh, you need to look up some of the videos for other ships?
Oh, the friggin' first ship is hilarious.
Or the Reliant. You get a good wind, and it'll pick it right up off the ground, fly away.
Yeah,
I mean,
landing complete.
Right as
Have a pleasant stay.
soon as you land, no matter what.
No, actually leave your engines on. That's the only way it'll stay grounded. If you turn your engines off, it'll fly away. You know, a little brisk wind and whee.
The warning I always saw was them saying to turn your engines off as soon as you land.
Nope.
For most of the ships.
It's opposite. It used to be that way. Not anymore. The other thing you do is you always turn off engines but leave power on.
Okay, the power ons, you still have your shields.
But that's going to change too. You know why?
Why?
Because eventually the ships will, when you power off something, they'll go to battery. You won't be able to run them all the time because you'll suck your fuel down. And then it'll go on battery power, and then you'll suck your batteries down, and then you're going to have a bigger problem because you won't be able to start the ship. No joke. I guess I'm going to have to take an Ursa. It's the one nice thing about the Ursa, you don't have to worry about ammo counts. But then that's the way it is with ships too. You don't have to worry about ammo counts if you use energy weapons.
Yeah.
SIG hasn't figured that out yet either, because I'm sure their metrics show everything's just fine. No sarcasm in my comments. Where am I going? Nope, you'd never hear sarcasm from me. I don't criticize, don't use sarcasm, never call things out. Nope, not me. I think as I get older, I'm getting more, what's the word? Crotchety? Yeah, that'll work. Because as you get older, you have less time to enjoy what you want to enjoy. And the more days that go by with this game means the less days I'll be able to play the damn thing when it someday does come out 10 years from now.
Welcome to Province Space.
I'll be the $6 million. No, I'll be the $12 million man who forgot inflation. I'd rather be a $6 million man thing.
Why can't they make shows that like those old corny shows anymore? All modern shows.
Because most of the real actors and actresses are gone. I mean, who do we have left? Clint Eastwood. See, that's how hard it is to remember, to try and think up any of the real good old school actors anymore.
Yeah. But I like some really old movies, like from the 40s and 50s.
So do I. I like John Wayne movies.
Yeah. I like Humphrey Bogart and all that stuff.
Yep.
My wife had never seen the African Queen, so
Really?
I had to introduce her to that last year.
Yeah. I even like some of the old dancing movies with some of those well-known. What's that one actor's name? He played in Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court. I like that movie.
I hate musicals, but for some reason I liked like Gene Autry and stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Those kind of musicals, not musicals like Oklahoma. No, that's too musical. But you know, stuff like with Dean Martin, that kind of thing. Those are fine because it was in moderation and it fit with the movie itself. But yeah, I'm not into musicals. I mean more like I like Dean Martin, Jerry Lewis, Don Knotts, Red Skull. He was hilarious. Bob Hope.
I'm coming home.
Yeah.
What time it really was, and no one believed him.
Bob Hope was
he was really in the Art Attack that time. Crap. Or what is Stanford and Sons?
Yeah.
Actually, I saw that on the TV at work the other day. Someone complained in one of the lobbies of the VA.
Sanford and Son?
Yep, they said it was blaxploitation.
Are you freaking kidding me?
No, I wish I was.
Did
So they complained that it was blaxploitation. It was actually racist.
Did anybody speak up and tell him to go take a powder?
I didn't stick around to hear how it ended because they were bitching to one of the nurses. I just heard it when I was friggin' coming out of the dialysis center, so I had to fix something in there.
See, I hear something like that, I go exploit something, and that's a lack of common sense.
It's like, really?
Yeah, I don't put up with it.
Racist?
I don't put up with that shit. When somebody starts playing that game, I go right back at them. I call them out, call them what it is. It's like, you know.
It wasn't even a black lady, it was a white lady doing it.
Oh, of course it was. I'm sick and tired of that bullshit. It's like, you know. Are there racists in this country and in this world? Hell yes. And they need to be dealt with. But when people start going across the line like that, that's just... I speak up and I'm like, you know, take your bullshit elsewhere, your political correctness, your wokeness, and stuff it up your own backside. You don't have any right to talk to me like that. Oh, yes, I do, because you just freaking decided to tell us that we were racist for watching something, you know? It's like, you call me a racist, but then don't expect us to turn and call you what you are? I don't play that fucking game.
Quantum travel.
That's in my head right there. What's racist about Sanford?
Yeah, I don't get it either. I mean, these people, they would have been apoplectic over All in the Family.
Oh, yeah.
Although he did play a racist, so, I mean, there was that.
That was the role he was playing.
Yeah. But that was the point. I mean,
Commie.
Well, and that was the point, because over time, he settled out and he matured more and changed his way, and that was part of the whole story of...
Yeah, but it was showing the change in generations.
Right,
in the country.
exactly.
He still hated commies, so that's all that matters.
Well, yeah, but commies is not racist.
I know, I'm saying, but he still hated commies, so
Yeah.
that's all that matters.
Well, I hate commies too, so there.
Exactly. I said that's all that matters.
Yeah.
If he would have started leaking comics by then, it's never been an issue.
Yeah, that's true. I think that series ended though before Berlin Wall fell.
I'm not sure what you're going to do.
I think for me in my life, my career, that was probably the biggest shock moment of my life. You know, to have been there, to have fought and bled and all the other shit that goes along with it. And then for all of a sudden that thing that I had, you know, seen and witnessed to just be gone suddenly. I mean, I don't even know how to put in words how dramatic the emotion is or was when that happened. Because it was just like, we were all like, but we were just like, what the hell? You know, it was just like, you couldn't, it didn't compute. It didn't, I don't even know how to put it in words.
As well, one of the guys I know that's he's the chairman of the Newport Artillery Company now. He's posted a picture of one of the cannons we used to shoot. It's an actual Paul Revere made cannon from the Revolutionary War.
Yeah. What about it?
And he put a picture of it. We actually live fired the thing when I was in high school.
Huh. Yeah,
They have four of them at the museum.
There's a couple people here in Wisconsin that have collections, and they have just about every cannon you could imagine, and they fire them off routinely.
Yeah, this one is actually literally made by Paul Revere. Here's a picture of it.
Son
it
of
was
a
replaced.
bitch! Nothing like headlights that you can't see 50 feet in front of the damn ship, so you smack into the ground. At least I didn't blow up right away. What a crock of shit.
There's one of 6 cannons that are supposed to go to the St. Bernard Island for the guns that were left on Long Island during the Battle of New York.
Yeah. This is
Only 4 were delivered because the state ran out of money. I think
Now,
Maryland got the other 2.
here's a perfect example of why I bitch. I've now got a fully red MSR because I ran smack into the ground because you can't see the fucking ground due to no headlights that work worth a shit. And if you look at the altimeter, it says I'm 1,500 feet still above the ground.
Yeah, but I have no clue what they use for their altitude either.
I don't either. I don't think half a SIG knows how to do math.
I've crashed more than once because of...
Well, I'm sick of this shit. It's starting to weigh on me bad because I'm tired of lack of common sense stuff. This stuff should be automatic. It should be... Players should not have to be dealing with this in a live server.
Yeah.
Because this is basic common sense design stuff.
And there's a picture that's posted that it was all 4 of them being fired at a ceremony in Newport. Last spring.
Yeah,
Something amazing about shooting a gun that's freaking was literally built by one of the founding fathers.
Yeah. Damn it. I can't fucking see the ground, of course. And of course the door opening buttons don't work again remotely. And I keep asking myself why I keep coming back to this over and over and over for this stupid shit. I mean,
sucker for punishment and you left the theory of the game?
Well, it's that, or maybe it's just that I'm so involved that I can't walk away and give up on it because I'd lose too much.
I guess when you're investing $50,000 in a game, you have to kind of stick with it.
It's frustrating as hell because this shit is common sense.
Yeah.
There is no excuse whatsoever at all, none, for common sense stuff. And I don't care what SIG makes up as an excuse, they're full of it. You know, it goes back to the stuff like, why would you ever need a compass? It's like, are you freaking kidding me?
Welcome to Roberts Space Industries. Enjoy the flight.
And of course our rovers, the HUDs still don't have compasses. But at least our turrets and some ships now. Probably going to blow up my turret or my rover before I ever get to this stage because I can't freaking see where I'm going. Can you imagine trying to fight a war with equipment like this? I mean, I know in the Civil War they had to, but this ain't the Civil War.
Let me go ask someone that fought next expedition, you know, like let you know.
Well, I mean, even World War I and World War II, they had freaking lights where you could see where you're going.
That's why this next expedition.
Yeah.
They had vehicles, but at the time the lights were so bad. I've read quite a bit of Blackjack Pershing's works about the expedition.
Well, yeah.
Talk about the headlights, like 10 feet in front of the vehicle, like that.
Well, yeah, what what I read said that they were actually more for markers than they were for, like...
Yeah, we're actually driving,
Yeah.
You better shoot. And that was literally the first military use of chasing down Pancho Villa. We need to do that with the Mexican cartels. The expeditionary force in Mexico that's Pancho Villa.
Alright, I gotta go. Simple mission. It's taken me so far an hour and a half. Still haven't even gotten in the door.
Not that I have one of those that's running anything at me. I didn't even take out the turret. I went on, made it a 2 clicks away and walked there.
Yeah, but I spent half an hour trying one vehicle, which turns out to be broken, so I have to get a different vehicle. Then I crash into the ground with the ship because you can't see the ground because the headlights are shit. Now I'm trying to drive an Ursa Rover, only 2,000 meters, and I'm having one hell of a time because freaking rocks and bullshit. I don't get it. There are so many games out there that do this so much better. And there's available APIs and examples of how to do this kind of stuff. And yet SIG just refuses to even look at those.
Weapons system critical.
Hey, this makes no sense. I'm in a brightly lit combat vehicle cockpit that if you were on outside of it looking in, I'm like standing in a spotlight with bright white light in this cockpit, right? Shooting at turrets that are completely ignoring me while I shoot at them. While I'm brightly lit sitting in this cockpit.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just, I don't get it. I mean, to me, this is just basic common sense stuff. This has got yellow jackets on it? Are you freaking serious? I'm out of ammo. Wow. I could have swore this had... How much you want to bet it's one of the other Ursas? Because I have this special edition I pulled out. I'll betcha it's one of the standard models that's got the repeaters. And this one they put... Let's see. Come on. So now you can't even look up your ship's inventory, what you have for ships, out in the middle of nowhere.
It should show in knickknacks, I think.
Well, knickknacks, but why do I want to scroll through all of knickknacks to find something basic and simple? That's what I mean. It's like lack of common sense at all. It's all busy work. That's what it is. And see, there's no, if I just pulled up, if I go into Lorville, I can scroll down and I can find a Ursa rover. But it doesn't give you any information. It just says built by blah 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 blah, all terrain capability, blah 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 blah, for scouting, mapping, and discovery. It doesn't show you any of its weapon systems, its components, nothing. Which is what I wanted to look up. In fact, this one is just like a bare cage. It doesn't have the wheels or doors or anything, according to what it's displaying. But my point is, knickknacks is useless. So am I, because I forgot to frickin' do something else. Son of a bitch. So I get to head back to base. It's bad enough already. They already destroyed Elite. Why would we want them to come to Star Citizen and destroy Star Citizen?
Well, the guy.
No, it's the designer's fault. Many of the talks with the designers, the programmers and designers, and the talks that they used to have, they were the ones that were saying that they weren't gonna, or they were gonna, or the guy that owned the rights to Elite that invented it, you know, originally, he didn't have a whole lot involvement in that stuff. The designers and developers did, and it was the designers. That's why.
What really killed them now was release of the iPhone they did.
Yeah.
It was directly on him, saying they must have it out by this date. They told him it wasn't ready yet. They said they needed another year to work on it, and he said, no, you're releasing it now.
They well, from what I understand, he didn't have a choice because they got funding to do it, I guess, and the funding was turned off.
I know they originally gave them shareholders until 2 days. Quarterly shares.
Damn this thing. Jeez. Freaking piece of junk. Fighting the stupid ass physics, ground vehicle physics shit that they have. And it's starting to really piss me off. We're sitting here talking about how bad Elite is. Well, this isn't much more. It's better right now.
That's what I think. Still, so Elite did do some things right.
Yeah, the universe, Jesus.
Yeah.
You know? You could take SIG's Planettech for creating planets and mirror that to Elite's universe dynamic creation system, and holy crap, can you imagine?
Yeah.
But yeah, the last thing I would want to do is take the doves out of Elite and bring them into the Star Citizen. No way. Not after a couple of those discussions I was with, because I was a founder. And when they freaking basically thumbed their noses at us when we were trying to tell them what needed to change, that was the last straw.
Most of that original crew has all been fired. It's all new people now.
It doesn't matter. That's what occurred, and that's, you know, and they were still around when they did the incursions from the alien. What the hell were they called again?
Yeah, but then they're
Stargate. Well, yeah.
Systems on.
Yeah, but it's not. There was a 1 year gap in all content period in the game. I think that period expired.
No, that I couldn't tell you because it was after the Thargoids, right? Not within a couple of months, and I gave up.
Yeah, I only started playing 2 years ago, and I stopped playing halfway through last year.
That's
right about the time Horizons was going. You know what? Horizon shit sucks.
I think that's probably why I'm getting more and more pissed off at Star Citizen, because around the same time I became a founder of Elite and Star Citizen together. And to see two major projects like this, just fall into shit like they are, well, put yourself in my shoes. You know, Star Citizen, obviously, we haven't given up on yet. But when I keep running into basic common sense stuff, it just frustrates the hell out of someone trying to play the damn game on live.
Yeah, I hear you.
You begin to wonder.
Quantum travel engaged. Quantum travel complete.
I mean, I keep wanting to hope that Chris will straighten shit out. That's why he moved to England. But the problem is he went there to get Squadron 42 working at Star Citizen.
Yeah, I guess they're backers in Squadron 42.
Oh yeah, that's to be expected. It's been too damn long. I think Chris's own kids also have had an impact on it, because
You said they started playing the game.
yeah, and they months ago, there was a discussion or something about, there was a thread or something on Spectrum about Chris playing with his kids, and the frustration of trying to play basically was huge.
I'm moving back to freaking England and we'll kick some ass.
Yeah, the problem is, yeah, but like I said, the problem is his baby is Squadron 42.
Yeah.
And so the question then becomes, will he take that same...
Yeah, but don't they claim like almost like 99% of the stuff from Squadron 42 is directly connected to this game too?
Which I call bullshit on.
Landing gear down.
Most of Squadron's a linear game. It's not dynamic. It's you play it once, you go through the story, you're pretty much done. Just like any other linear game that's ever been written.
Yeah, I'm talking about the physics.
I know. Let me finish. And they've talked about how they have taken certain things, like the Hull C, for example. That ship is nothing but a shell in Squadron 42. So that's useless in Star Citizen. Now that may have changed since that because they are getting ready to soon release the Hull series. So it's very possible that for Squadron it has been updated there too. Then again, maybe not. Maybe they just have left a shell because you'll never use it in Squadron. You might see one here and there, but you're never going to use it. So
I know they said the steel was made specifically for
there are some ships and vehicles. Fucking game. Now I land and I can't repair or rearm again. So they broke that too. Wow. I'm about ready to just throw it in. This is ridiculous.
So I usually never play on patch days.
Well, it doesn't matter if you play on patch days or not. They won't patch this again. This is it. This is going to stay this way until after the next major revision, 3.17, comes out. They don't ever patch this shit. This is what we get now.
I know they were doing a lot of hot fixes after Christmas.
On 3.16 PTU. Once it goes live, once the hotfix version, which is 0.1, goes live, that's it. There won't be a 0.2. Been that way for a couple years now. What we have right here, unless they have something that literally turns off the servers, literally just crashes them out completely, we won't see any more patches. And so what we're seeing right now, that's what we get. Which is why live servers really quickly die out. Because the bugs like this show themselves, nobody plays. Except some diehards that might play like mining or, stuff like that. Let's see if it'll let me repair and rearm this time. Probably not, but who knows, might get lucky. See, I've got no audio either for the voices. There's no audio. So they broke that too. There, I get to repair. And I can refuel quantum, but I can't refuel hydrogen. And I can't restock the weapons. Wow. Well, hydrogen, I guess, refuels itself. Osmosis.
I think the MSR has fuel scoops.
Huh?
I think the MSR actually has fuel scoops. So.
Yeah, but the way I understood with stuff, the way fuel scoops should work, because it works that way in most other games actually, is you have to find a gas cloud or gas giant to get near and siphon off the gas and refine it into fuel.
At least the way that the hot tips says when you're low on fuel, the hot tip pops. It just says fuel running low. Over time, hydrogen will replenish if you don't maneuver a lot.
Right, and that's part of the problem with the game is it's just like an I win button. It makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. So you have to take it if you get in a ship like the Odyssey or a refining ship, you got to take it someplace and have it refined. But if you're sitting in the cockpit of the MSR or a few other ships, it'll just automatically make itself.
I thought the refining ships was one of those quantum.
No, ships will be delivering hydrogen fuel and shit too, because not all ships can replenish their hydrogen. So you have to be able to refuel them. And that's what I was getting at. It's like some of this just doesn't make any freaking sense. It's almost like parts of it are being designed just on the fly. You know, it's like they never sat down and actually came up with an outline for the design of this game. It makes sense? What I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what it feels like to me. It feels like a fly-by-night. Well, let's try this. Well, let's try. Oh, that'd be cool. Let's try that. And at least when I had my company, we sat down. We took time. We created an outline of what we wanted to do. You know, the design and the status and all that stuff. It was, and of course, on the way, you'll find changes and things you might want to add that you didn't think of originally. That kind of stuff. That's normal. But there are in so many ways, this game it just feels like a fly by the seat of your pants, no coordination whatsoever. I mean, that's okay. So what happened to my food? Seriously? Oh, duh. I guess it was in my backpack, not in my local inventory. That's the other thing. Why do they put your food in your backpack, but they put all your ammo and shit in your local inventory? You know? I don't get it.
I don't know. It's pretty bullshit. Freaking the administration's blocked more oil well platforms. U.S. judge annuls Gulf of Mexico oil lease sale over climate change impact.
Yeah, I don't even want to hear that shit anymore. That's why I don't watch the news.
Alright, it just popped up like on my computer screen.
I don't.
I'm on a long quantum, so
Don't even care anymore. Shit's gonna hit the fan, and when it does, and I'll deal with it. There's no point in even worrying about it anymore because nobody gives a shit anymore.
I just find it hilarious. So.
No, I don't. I find it insulting and sad because I spent so many years of my life trying to prevent all this bullshit from happening and obviously failed.
Because if you don't laugh, you have to cry.
God, I have no freaking scopes either. Really? So where's all the scopes that I bought before? Oh, now the arrows are showing up for all the pages. So they're just not, it's just not loading quickly, you know. But of course not. And then of course I've got 1,000 pages of all this stuff I've bought over the last 3 months that they decided to...
Including the 12 pages of undersuits you accidentally bought that day.
Exactly.
At least you'll never run out of undersuits.
Nope. But I do think it's hilarious how that reset, and I now have just about every item I've ever bought since they did the original inventory change.
I just wish they'd make it so friggin' suits and weapons would stack.
Or what?
Suits and weapons would stack in inventory.
Yeah, that'd be nice. How about, would be even nicer is attachments.
Yeah. Attachments, weapons, all that stuff. They all have like one X next to them, so it looks like they're saying they're meant to be able to be stacked, but...
See, to me, before you release stuff like this, that's another one of those common sense things. You know, where you add the basics like that. That's how I look at it. That's how I was taught. To me, it's basic common sense that you add in sorting and stacking and, you know, the basic functions that anybody is going to use or need.
Today's computer geeks don't have common sense anymore, man.
They must not, because I don't get it. I honestly do not get it.
Remember, these are the same people that have safe spaces and cuddling rooms and stuff like that.
Yeah, but the sad part is, I mean, we can laugh and giggle about it, but the sad part is, these are the people that are gonna cost.
Yeah, they're going to be the next rulers of the world.
No, they're not going to be. No, they're not going to be the rulers of the world. They're going to be the slaves. They're going to be the ones living under the thumb of the tyrant, and they don't even realize it yet. They can't even imagine such a thing ever happening to them. The lessons of history, they haven't been forgotten. They're not being taught.
All these kids talk about how great the Soviet Union was.
I know.
They start talking about the gulags and stuff. Like, that never happened. What?
Exactly. Or denial of Holocaust, you know, that kind of stuff. It's like they don't have and like I said, it's not that they're forgetting history. It's that it's no longer being taught, and that's the danger.
And what it is like the stupid critical race theory shit, where just because you're a color it makes you evil or good or whatever.
Yeah. That's just pure stupidity. Yeah, they don't want to teach any of the stuff that's relevant, and then they want to brainwash on stuff that is absolutely...
We're sorry. You've exceeded the allotted time to depart. We will have to return your ship to storage.
Cursive. They don't teach cursive at all anymore.
Yeah, no. Mine does.
What?
Ours do, here in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
It's required, but, you know,
Hey,
not for a lack of the left trying to make changes. But people here are still old school. It's like, we're not having any of that shit.
They don't teach penmanship anymore. When I found that out, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, here they do. We still do here. But there's concerted efforts to get rid of even that.
Like, well, why do you need that anymore? Everyone uses a computer.
Oh, you
what?
See, this is the other fucking thing. I moved my ship off a pad so I wouldn't despawn, and it despawned. Wow. can't even. Tonight, my frustration has got maxed peak because this is just utterly ridiculous, embarrassing for SIG too. I mean, I've never seen a company before put out a public-facing product like this that is in such bad shape, and then make excuses for that.
I don't know, Cyberpunk was pretty bad when it came out.
That's completely different. That's a game that was done and released and had a bunch of major problems, but they very quickly patched it. This is a game that's not done, it's an alpha. And they tout about how it's an alpha and it's got bugs and it's going to have bugs because it's in constant development. But they have 3 different server systems. And the live server is what they use for marketing and trying to convince people to back and pay money and everything else. And yet the live server is in the worst condition of them all. Because they don't monitor what the hell's going on. And if they try to say they do, I'd call them out on it. There's no freaking way they do. You know, you get bugs that are 5 years old, confirmed by SIG themselves, that are still in this game. And sorry, but to me, whoever's making the decisions, I'd have fired him a long time ago. You know, for the public server, this thing should be, it'll have its bugs, you know, the basic bugs here and there, that kind of thing, modeling, whatever. But when you got game-destroying bugs, like some of these that we're seeing now, again, to me that's not excusable. There's no excuse for that on your public base. On a server that you're touting, oh, look at here, look at this. It's just, to me, SIG long ago should have had a team, 4 or 5 developers, whatever. And their only job is to monitor the live server. And when it becomes apparent that there is a game-stopping major bug that impacts players' enjoyment directly, that team should either see about if it's something that they can patch right away, or if it's critical enough that they need to go to whatever team and say this has to be, we need a band-aid for now because this is what it's causing. You know, something to keep the public face looking viable and marketable, and keep people like me from every other day that I play it pitching up a holy hell storm. Because I'm finding that's the frustrating thing for me. I'm starting to find myself bitching more than I'm enjoying, and it's getting worse, and I know that. Talking to a brick wall, basically. But I'm bitching more than I am enjoying the game. And that's not good. But I don't know what else to do. I'm just sitting here saying nothing is not me. It's not my style. I see so many people that bitch about things, but they never complain, they never say anything, they never do anything about it. I'm doing everything I possibly can. I support it. I write up bug reports. I'm in ETF, and I work hard on that, you know, with patches and stuff. I tell SIG about problems, talk to others about issues, but I feel like it's like I'm talking to a brick fucking wall. And I'm not having fun, which is part of the problem. I guess I'm going to try and complete this mission one more freaking time. Actually, I got to fix that too. Here's the rover I took. That's fucking no ammo. Or what ammo it has is not enough to kill a damn turret. And that's another frustrating common sense thing to me. It shows that SIG is not testing this stuff. Because if they were, the basics, if you got a ground vehicle, you put a weapon turret, a weapon system on it, you would think that the most logical next step is, can it kill what you shoot? And how long, or what does it take to do so? Well, let's see. We have ground bases that have turrets on them. Can this ground vehicle's turret or weapon kill these 4 turrets? When the answer is no, you've got a problem. That to me is common sense. You know?
Yeah.
There's a rover. And the rover I have loaded into the ship doesn't even appear now in my list. Wow. I'm back home, my home base, with the ship, which had the Ursa loaded in it. But the Ursa no longer shows up in the list. Yep. And that Ursa that I took before, remember I said, I'll bet you they changed the weapons because of it being that special green edition?
Yeah.
Yep, I'm looking at one of the other ones now, and it's got bulldogs. Energy repeaters. Good God. Unbelievable. Now I gotta take the MSR all the way back to the base, drop off the Ursa that's in it, respawn a different one, load it back up, then head to the mission place for the 4th time. You know, sadly, if we could play with NPC gunners in our ships, this problem would have been solved too, because the NPC gunners and the turrets of the ship could have just taken those turrets out.
Yeah.
But apparently it's too hard for SIG to do, even though NPC ships have AI turrets. But for players it's too hard to do. You figure that one out. Alright, I'm gonna shut up. Enough bitching. I'm tired of bitching anyway.
So your team's going to your team's going to the Super Bowl, isn't it?
Nope.
I thought they won.
Packers lost. Nope.
Because
They came in and they were flat. They played like they had no energy. It was.
I know the Bucks lost.
Yeah, Packers did too. Both top seed teams got beat. Yeah, they came in and It was like they had no energy. After 2 weeks off, you know, because they were top seed for the entire playoffs. They're number 1 seed, so they had home advantage for the entire freaking thing. And they just gave it all up. And now, of course, we're stuck with speculation. What's Rodgers going to do? Blah 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 blah.
Of course, they always do that.
Yeah. And is Brady going to retire? Blah 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 blah. If Rodgers leaves, he's a fool. I'll tell you that. I mean, he might be able to get a buttload more money someplace else because we're at the ceiling, the cap.
Yeah.
But as he had said himself, the people in the state here, there's no other place even remotely like the atmosphere and the fans and stuff like that. And the way he's been treated. For example, when his COVID stuff happened, our state, the people in our state rallied around him and told Hollywood and everybody else go fuck off. That's why most of our state is not vaccinated. Around here, most people are not. It's, you know, it's like around here, everybody told Roger the same thing. Make your own choices. You're free to choose what you want, and we'll back you up 110%. And that made an impression on him. So I'm hoping that he remembers these 17 years of how we've treated him, and he decides to finish his career here. If he doesn't, then he's not the person I thought he was. And the Packers will be back into another 17 years of rebuilding. Which sucks. Then again, I don't think the NFL will last that long at the rate they're going.
No.
Because I used to watch, you know, most games of the NFL and stuff, and I stopped watching other than the Packers when they started winning, you know, to the point of an actual run.
People want sports. They don't want politics.
Yep.
And turn into politics.
Yep. And I quit watching. And then when the Packers started their run, I started watching just the Packer game. And now the run has ended, and I've turned it off again. And most everybody that I know has done the same thing. And the NFL's coming out with all these different marketing ideas and shit, trying to get fans back. It's like kissing my ass.
The biggest one to get fans back is take the politics back out of sports.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, a lot of other stuff. If you do a dance in the end zone, you get fined.
Yep.
Quantum travel.
Yeah, I put the NFL in the same category as I do the NRA. Nothing but a political group that rips people off. Because that's exactly what they do. They don't do anything that's beneficial to anybody. And what I can't figure out is how many people can be so suckered. What the hell? Now the police are going to stop me in the middle of an atmospheric entry? Are you freaking kidding me?
Well, the local cops are around here.
Good God. I can't believe that so many people have been suckered by the NRA as bad as they've been. I mean, think about it.
LaPierre is a shyster.
Big time. So is everybody else that works with him at the top level. I mean, if you think about it, when's the last legit anything that they've done in support of the Second Amendment?
Yeah. Even when Ollie North tried to take over, he wasn't really any good.
I don't give a shit about that. That's not my point.
I'm just saying he was just going to be stable his regime.
Yeah, maybe so, but it's not. You know, it's these groups and the NFL, the NRA, all these people. They send their money to them. Oh, I'm supporting the Second Amendment, and it's like, no, you're giving your fucking money to some people that are ripping you off. Are you really that stupid?
The only two groups I've seen actually doing anything good for the Second Amendment lately is the GOA and the American Suppressor Association.
Yeah, both those two groups I've seen with some good programs that they've been pushing and stuff, but I still don't donate to them. I look at it this way. I should not have to donate to anybody to exercise my rights. That's how I feel about it.
Landing gear down.
Unfortunately, it's been litigated away.
I don't care. Let them. They can litigate. They haven't litigated away anything for me. Nobody has. And if they want to come and try and take my rights, they're going to end up with a battle because I'm not voluntarily giving in. People that don't exercise their rights don't deserve to have them for Benjamin Franklin. And those that give up a little security, or a little freedom, or a little security, don't deserve either for Benjamin Franklin.
I had to do what I had to do when I got arrested.
Well, yeah. But in my case, I'm not you. I would have probably either been dead or I'd be in prison for something worse.
Yeah, your kids are grown up.
Yeah, there's a difference. That's what I'm getting at. I'm not saying as a person we're different. I'm saying my choices would have been different. Because I have that option.
Yeah. Trust me, I wanted to fight it all the way in court, but side of the family came first.
Yeah. I'll fight, I'll do the right thing if I would ever get in a situation. I'll go to court first. But if the courts fail me and try to tell me that I don't have a constitutional right that I earned, that I deserve, that it just is, then they kiss my ass and they're going to have one hell of a fight. And I mean a literal fight. I'm not talking verbal tongue lashing. There's a difference between the morons out there with their little militia groups that play pretend, and some of it.
Yeah, Two-Tongue Tony with his friggin' belly showing and an AR.
Yeah.
Horse Moisen.
Yep.
I got my Moisen.
Yeah. There's a difference between people like that and those of us that actually believe, And I think that's a mistake that the left makes. They don't understand that there is a huge difference between the yahoos and those that truly believe in the Constitution. The problem is we're still the silent majority. Our voices haven't really been heard, so they blow it off.
Please proceed to assigned landing bay.
that I was talking about before, the Oath Keepers.
Uh-huh.
Years ago, they tried to get me to sign up for it. And I asked them one question. I said, where's the data? And they're like, oh, what data? I said, address, phone numbers, people's names, location, affiliation. You know, because they basically took military and veterans and police officers. You know, all that was their big push.
Yeah.
I said, where's the data? Well, it's right here. We have it right here in the main office area. Uh-huh. And what happens if you're raided? Well, nothing, because it's encrypted and protected and nobody could ever get their hands on it. Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, you're joking, right? No, we have a system where they'd never be able to get the member list and all that kind of stuff. And I said, well, good luck later. Don't call me back. Don't call me again.
Yeah.
I mean, and now look at what's happened. At some point, they must have also, well, I don't even know if what's been said about it is true pertaining to January 6th, so I shouldn't. But I wonder if they've turned to the radical side, like they're being accused of doing during January 6th. You know, I wonder what the truth really is. Because if they did some of the stuff that has been reported in the news, then I can see why they got charged.
I would say that you say, especially after seeing the videos of the White House guards actually unlocking doors and opening them.
That's not what they got charged with.
No, I'm saying in general.
Right, but what they got charged with was they had their comms intercepted. And in their communications, they literally, according to the affidavits I've read, they were literally talking about taking down people, government that got in their way, officers that got in their way, literally, with firearms and anything that they needed to do, and they were coordinating the takedown. And if that is true, then Oath Keepers turned a hell of a lot more radical than even I thought they'd ever go. If that's true.
I don't believe anything that's coming out of any of the government side for that after their, you know, them calling it insurrection and fucking.
Well, I don't believe anything government says. But like I said, I read some of the transcripts that are now public. And obviously those transcripts have to be real, or they wouldn't be public like that. Because they're in the charge sheets. They're in the public disclosures. And so that's what I'm saying, if that is true. Because they still have due process.
Yeah. And who says it? Like, there's guys that were supposedly wanting to kidnap the governor, but it ended up the only guy recommending doing it was the FBI agent.
Well, that's Michigan, though. That doesn't have anything to do with January 6th.
Still the same agency, so.
Well, I agree. I said before, I don't trust the FBI, as far as I'm concerned, can kiss my ass. I don't trust them. I never will trust them again.
Yeah.
But that's not my point. My point is, if those affidavits are real, I see no reason why they wouldn't be, since they're now in public record, charges and stuff. I wonder when Oath Keepers went that radical as shit. And based on what's in those documents, what is it, eight guys that were involved in that, including the founder of Oath Keepers. Freaking idiots. I mean, not only to say stuff like that, but to do it over pretty much lumped into a category that I don't think any of them anticipated it being lumped into.
Yeah.
And you got to wonder about the military and the law enforcement that are on their rolls, which I guarantee you are probably being disclosed to whatever commands they all belong to at this point. I would bet bottom dollar they are. Even if they had nothing to do with any of it, I guarantee you there's going to be some departments that get rid of officers and military units that discharge members because of it.
They kick people off for less and more lies.
Yeah. I just no longer excuse it or accept it. It really does surprise me though that they could be that. It pretty much, one of the things that I'd always wondered about the Oath Keepers, the guy that founded it and stuff, there was something always off about him when I read stuff he wrote and when I talked to him that one time. And I often wondered, because I could never find out, if he was even a member of the military or law enforcement. And my instinct was he didn't. He wasn't, ever. And
the other thing I've thought about them along that thing is that, in general, it looks like it could have been a honeypot operation. You know?
Not based on what I read. It was open communication that was intercepted.
No, I'm saying the Oath Keepers in general being the honeypot.
Oh, make money for a few.
Right, and get people's names and that kind of stuff. Like, you know, if a certain group wants to go, hey, we want to know everyone that's thinking this way, then you set up an organization that says, hey, we support these views, come join us, and people freely hand over all their information.
Oh, yeah, because a lot of people don't have the common sense to think about what they're doing. I thought you meant in the sense of it was actually a government-run sting type operation. But anyway, the fact that if what they did, if the documents are legit, again, I don't have any reason not to believe it. Now in court, public record. That guy that started that whole thing was a wannabe, basically.
Remember he was supposedly Jaguar originally.
Oh, what the fuck? Well, I doubt that. I doubt now. That was the case.
Pretty sure that's what's on his bio. Like he was Jaguar, Navy Jaguar.
Really? Fucking dark. A Navy Jag lawyer would know. You don't freaking open comms about taking over and killing people and holding congressmen and senators hostage. You know? Over open comms. If he was an attorney, he must have been a really shitty, stupid one.
Yeah, there are a lot of crappy attorneys.
Well, I know that, but usually the JAG attorneys aren't quite that bad. It is amazing how many people he's suckered in now. And it's too bad because the premise...
I gotta admit, when I first got back from Iraq, I was a member of it for a while.
Well, I was going to say, it's too bad because the basic premise, I agree with.
Yeah.
You know, that's not the issue. It's the people running it that was the red flag for me. Which is why I never joined. And now I'm thankful I never joined.
Yeah. Because they did a little bit because of the riots and, whatchamacallit, Michael Brown riots and shit. They had people out there doing security for some of the local restaurants and shit.
Yeah, but the problem is, that's when their problems started.
Yeah.
Because they weren't asked there. They arrived there and then got permission to be there after the fact. And that's when they started turning, for me at least, in my impression, that's when they started turning more militaristic. Instead of a group of people that supported our oath and the Constitution and would stand for it regardless, that's when they turned more malicious style. You know what I'm trying to say? More hardcore, I guess maybe.
I know they had people on the Bundy Ranch.
Yeah, and that Bundy Ranch was another piece of shit action by the corrupt core FBI and ELF. Yep. Are you freaking serious?
And we're charged for it, and I saw that video, and it was bad shit all around.
What I was saying is, are you serious? I got two guys here.
No, I know. I'm just.
No, I've got in game.
Yeah.
I've now got two guys that just showed up as red and were shooting at my ship in a safe zone.
Radar contact.
Safe zone, and somehow they're shooting at my ship. I just got the Ursa on board quickly.
Are they NPCs or?
I don't know. There's 4 ships, so.
There's probably what was been happening sometimes. Someone gets a bounty mission and they spawn near the same place as the bunker, and ships from the bounty mission target whatever ships are nearby.
Yeah, these are not AI. These are people. This guy's straightening her up. Alright. They want to play games? I'll play games.
What planet are you on?
Hurston.
I'm not seeing your marker.
Something you morons want? Let's see, power. Let's increase power, shields and weapons. What I can't understand is how they're able to shoot at me, but I can't shoot at them. My weapons are locked, but theirs are not.
Or are they just barely outside the lockdown zone?
I don't know what they're doing, but they can't be outside the lockdown because they're strafing right around me, directly in front of my ship. That's why I also know they're not NPCs. One guy. See, this is the kind of shit that SIG needs to fix. They can fire on me in a safe zone, but I can't fire on them. This is bullshit. Had a good guy take out one of them. Nice job. Keep flying.
That's probably the Ares.
He's flying an Ares. No, he's flying a Arrow, the guy that just took out one of the bad guys. This guy's flying a 50. I mean, he's right on my nose, inside a safe zone. And he's shooting at me. We are in the same server, aren't we?
I thought so. I clicked to join on you.
Why can't I lock? And that's the other problem. I can't lock these freaking targets. guns. Is that on? On the second one, third one was taken out by some other guy when he was here. Fourth one, I'm not sure where he was. Probably around here somewhere.
Probably chased the guy in the arrow.
Could be.
Target destroyed.
Interesting. Got a bounty for that one.
It seemed a little easy from what it sounded like for players.
But no, this guy was in a M50. And I'm in an MSR. So they were all four wailing on me. I don't know what the other two ships were, but one was an LN, the other one was a M50. And they're no match. That's why I pulled out and said, okay, let's fight, because I realized once I was able to finally lock up those two, they were smaller ships. I'm thinking it was a group of buddies, starter ships. I just want to know how in the hell they were able to shoot at me inside a safe zone. And they were launching missiles and guns. Because as soon as I got inside the ship, I cranked up the shields to 50. And they weren't able to do that much more after that.
I thought you said there was an air base there too.
There was, and that's right, there was an Ares, and I don't know where it is.
Ares would actually be a threat to you.
Yeah, but he couldn't hit me. He kept trying to shoot, and his rounds were hitting the ground about 20 feet behind the ship where I was parked.
Interesting.
Yeah, so he wasn't able to hit me. But the LN and the M50 were. And those were the two that were hovering around my nose right outside the cockpit. Yeah, and if I'd have been able to lock missiles on that Ares, I could have let him have a Harnier on the ship. But they could have good, decent loadout of missiles on that ship, if I remember right. No, there's only 6. No, I could have ripple fired him at him, though.
Was that freeze? What size was it?
Size 3. Nope, size 2. There's 4 size 2 and 2 size 3.
Yeah.
Quantum travel complete.
This guy I can't see. Which means he's stealth somewhere. Nothing on my screen. You know, I'm at MSR. One of the ships should be able to see for freaking 1,000 miles on its scanner. And I can't see shit. Yeah, fight's gone.
I was in my favor, so I had to make a pit stop.
Right now I'm trying to take out these turrets. We don't have any real weapon targeting or anything. Ground targets. Can't hit shit.
Attack on shield.
though, is because if I kill all the bad guys,
Welcome to the Promise Building System. Enjoy the ride. Check. Shield power is low.
Rover in order to load shit into it.
AI is actually pretty good today.
Shit ass FPS I'm seeing.
Once I said that was over, I put back the rehearsing there. That's my search to finish. So I'm fighting a guy right now, and they're actually doing halfway decent. we have from the pearl mats.
Are you freaking
Shield
serious?
power is low. Weapons system power is low.
Wow.
What?
Blew up a turret
System
with the Ursa.
Uh-huh.
Welcome to Roberts Space Industries. Enjoy the flight. System check.
And lost all power
Huh.
in the Ursa.
Strange.
No, I was probably too close and took splash damage.
System off.
But it didn't damage my power unit. It destroyed it.
Welcome to
Through the
Roberts
shields
Space
and everything.
Industries. Enjoy the flight. System check.
Man, I swear. Well, so much for that. Go finish the mission and can't log out.
So, some nice relaxing mining tomorrow night?
Yeah. Tomorrow's Friday, yeah.
Yep.
Probably be earlier in the afternoon. But I'll be around. I'd intended on freaking making some money tonight, since I'm out of frickin' credits, but so much for that idea. Started playing around 1800 and it's now 2130. And I've accomplished exactly 0. Barrel of your weapon straight up in the air when you're undercover is just stupid.
Of course, you just put you know, you just put a flag on it that says "I am here."
Yeah, it's kind of like the helmets with the neon lighting that flashes. Hello, I'll stick my head up over here. Here I am. That dumbass. You go into these bunkers and they got so much fog in them. They got so much fog in them that, you know, you think you're outside in a freaking fog-ridden forest or something.
Yeah. They really need to work on the ventilation system.
Yeah, no, 900 years in the future and there's no ventilation up here.
They need a new AC guy.
Spawned like 6 feet right in front of me. And they hit him with 3 bursts.
went by, see?
Yep. Apparently not. At least I got plenty of ammo for the few weapons I was able to pick up. I can't bring my ship closer because it's saying already that I'm restricted. I'm in a restricted area. But I completed the mission now, of course. Wasn't very many loot boxes. Just two. think outposts and stuff like this would have a small garage with dragonflies, rovers.
Yeah.
Something I could steal since my rover apparently had its power core just stopped working. Now I get to run 1,400 meters back to my ship. You know, it's funny. You can drive through plants, but you can't run through them. Yeah. Really wish they'd give us an auto run button.
Yeah.
Of course, that's something else they said they didn't think we needed. So we can run thousands of kilometers around planets and moons that are pretty realistic in terms of distance, but an auto run button, nope. Which, of course, makes absolutely no sense. Like, if you're going to have people running on their feet on these moons and planets that are this large, you need a freaking auto-run system. should have timed that to see how long it took me to run those 1,500 yards.
Yeah, they have free drinks. They have free drinks on the counters, the bars now.
That's about... has to do with somebody, and they found an exploit where you can stack a bunch of drinks somehow, and at some point it crashes the actual server.
This isn't even a bar that sells anything. It just has an actual glass instead of a bottle or anything. It's a glass of beer.
Yeah. Reported today an ETF exploit bug like that can crash the server. So I took some information, and I'll look into it or whatever, I guess. Does MSR have an armory? Found the armory. There is an armory. Looks like I can stack 4 weapons.
How do you use the armory? Is the armory in the Connie working, or is it just there for looks right now?
You can 2 weapons in the Connie.
How do you put weapons in? I couldn't figure it out the other day. When I was trying to
go up to the weapons rack and hold down your F key, and you'll get a place, and any weapon that you have equipped, it'll place in the armory rack.
I must not have been close enough then or something.
Yeah.
Nothing was coming up.
If you can look at my stream, I can show you right now if you want to see. Let me know when you're seeing it. So we can do this with our frickin' armor.
Yeah.
And ammo and shit like that as well.
I have it all set up already. Yeah, I'm there.
Alright, what I have on this 4 rack is a couple of P4s, a custodian, and an AO3. And basically you just get up close to it and hold down your key, your F key, select what you want. And then
but
if you want
it must have not been close enough to it. I saw the racks in the Connies, but you put a rifle in it, and I figured I'd get to work.
And to put one in it, you just make sure the weapon's active like this, and then you'll get a place, and you place it, and put it right in there. Keep in mind, you can't do this in a safe zone.
Yeah.
So, in a safe zone,
I was at a bunker at the time. It was probably because I had my weapons holstered. I didn't have it out.
Let's see.
Hey, you're wearing personal security armor.
Yeah. Oops.
It looks like the armor that the guys at Lorville, the security guards at Lorville wear.
Well, it's mine now.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Yep. I just got to finish emptying my stash I grabbed. I'm gonna call it a night too. I'll be back tomorrow, so.